cells. Do you still remember these interstitial cells? Ingat tak? Right, also other name for this interstitial cell is Leydig cell. The cells, right, in between of the seminiferous tubule in the testis. So this LH will stimulate interstitial cell to secrete testosterone. All right, and testosterone next, right, will stimulate secondary spermatocytes to continue with meiosis II. All right, so these two hormones, right, again, pituitary gland secrete both FSH and LH. So FSH will stimulate primary spermatocyte, right, to undergo meiosis I. Okay, forming or producing secondary spermatocyte. All right, and then in order for secondary spermatocyte, right, to continue with meiosis II, it requires testosterone. So testosterone is secreted by interstitial cells, right, upon stimulation from this LH. So LH akan stimulate interstitial cells or Leydig cell to secrete testosterone, and baru stimulate secondary spermatocyte to undergo meiosis. Okay, so go back to the question tadi. Cikgu stop. Go back to the question tadi. So which hormone stimulate the division of primary spermatocyte into secondary? Hormon apa?
FSH.
FSH. Okay. Okay, lagi soalan? Which of the following is true? The acrosome reaction causes the zona pellucida to harden. Betul ke? Acrosome reaction yang mana?
Acrosome reaction yang digest the zona pellucida.
Yes. Alright, the acrosome, recall the structure of sperm cell. Alright, acrosome actually contains digestive enzyme in the sperm head. Alright, and then the function is to digest a root, right, at the zona pellucida so that the sperm can penetrate through. Alright, the zona pellucida moving towards the plasma membrane, okay, of the secondary oocyte kan. Okay, and then cortical reaction releases enzymes into the zona pellucida. Betul ke salah ni?
Dia release hormones ya teacher.
Cortical reaction releases, I think, is enzyme. Alright. So kalau cikgu pun mungkin cikgu akan pilih this answer. Wait, cortical reaction releases enzymes into the zona pellucida. Alright, cortical granules, right, moves towards the plasma membrane and release the content which cause hardening, right, of the zona pellucida. Okay, kita ke IV dulu. And then next, the cortical reaction inactivates egg binding proteins. Yeah, this is true also. Alright. So meaning that the sperm will not be able to bind, right, to the egg anymore. And then the acrosome reaction inactivates egg binding protein. So this is false lah. Alright. So sekarang ni antara cortical reaction releases enzyme into the zona pellucida and cortical reaction inactivates egg binding protein. So sebenarnya dua-dua pun betul. But then in our syllabus, right, in our syllabus kita focus more on the hardening of the zona pellucida by cortical reaction. Diana, ni for IB syllabus ya?
Tak sure teacher, tapi dia 11.4 reproduction, so maybe
IB lah tu. Sebab in our, last time when we discussed this, I think the understanding says that to prevent polyspermy, right? Kan exactly apa benda dia punya tu. What's the, kena check balik ni ya. Sekejap Diana, cikgu kejap. Cikgu Cikgu share semula slide. This is the thing that is good lah bila kita buat exercise. So boleh check balik. Fertilization, right? This one is fertilization. Fertilization. Okay, fertilization involves mechanisms that prevent polyspermy. All right, okay. And then we focus on acrosome fusion and cortical reactions here. Cikgu dah share ke belum? Slide belum
Dah teacher dah share bagi tadi.
Cortical reaction now, right?
Yes teacher.
So here, right, from the cortical reaction, memang our focus is on the enzyme. So enzymes from the cortical granules cause cross-linking glycoprotein, because this one is cikgu pun follow exactly from the IB guide. So yang tu is additional cortical reaction about the binding protein though. Memang myself I didn't put it here. Tapi cikgu tahulah, cumanya cikgu tak letak. So it looks like kita kena tambah lah ni because the when we check again at the understanding, it doesn't actually specifically mention about the hardening of zona pellucida which prevent polyspermy, right? Because in general it says that fertilization involves mechanisms that prevent polyspermy. Polyspermy maksudnya everything lah, right? Including hardening of the zona pellucida plus inactivation of the binding protein on the surface of the egg cell tu. Alright, so nanti kena tambah because soalan dah sebut pasal tu. Okay, Diana boleh share semula?
Okay.
So you can add in your notes, alright, the cortical reaction inactivates egg binding proteins. So the binding protein for sperms, for sperm binding. So cortical reaction also involves inactivation of the binding protein on the surface of the egg cell. So please add this in your notes. So if let's say now in this case, right, we are asked to choose between the two. Kalau cikgu tadi masih akan pilih enzymes ya. Right, same as the most of you lah, 8 student yang pilih tu. Cikgu tak kata salah lah, because I think both are accepted. Okay. And then if let's say the question asks you to explain about the process of fertilization, you must mention about the cortical reactions and the enzyme release which harden the zona pellucida. Itu kena, but since right we have another point here, so boleh tambah juga the second point tu, inactivation of the binding protein tu. Faham?
Teacher.
Okay. Then we move to the next question. Which hormone inhibits the production of oxytocin during pregnancy? This one actually bukan susah, cuma you all tak faham lagi kot ni. Alright? You haven't like digested everything that you have learned from the presentation. Soalan ni sebenarnya very straightforward ya. Right, siapa yang presented on this?
Hamra.
Hamra, and I think a few times Hamra dah highlight, dah stresskan progesterone inhibits production of oxytocin. That's why, right, oxytocin is only released once progesterone level drops at the end of pregnancy. Okay, next question. Which of the following is not true of the placenta? So placenta, again, you have to really understand of the structure of placenta, made of fetal and maternal tissues. Correct. because the question asks which one is not true. So the first statement is true. Second statement, functional unit is placental villus, increases surface area. This is true also. Fetal blood flows in intervillus space. Okay, this is wrong. All right, intervillus space is filled with maternal blood. All right, so therefore the last statement too is true. Maternal blood flows in the intervillus space. So intervillus space is also known as the maternal blood pool. All right, so this space is filled with maternal blood. And then you must remember that fetal blood has never actually mixed with maternal blood. All right, tapi apa yang the part, right, of the fetal tissue that is inside of this space is the chronic villi, part of the placenta. Okay. So ni kena buat faham balik ni, ni tak faham ni sebenarnya. The structure of the placenta. Okay, next question. What is the role of LH again in spermatogenesis? What's the role of LH tadi? Stimulates interstitial cells or Leydig cells to produce testosterone. Okay, right. And then next question. Okay, which of the following is true? Okay, right. So apa beza precocial and altricial hari tu?
Precocial, the offspring is independent.
Precocial is independent. Betul tak Afika? Afika presented this, right?
Yes, teacher.
So betul ke? Ada jawapan?
Betul, sebab dia betul juga. Dia ada tulis juga kat situ. Dia independent. And also dia develop offspring. Develop ini independent offspring lah. Alright, opposite to altricial, right? Yes.
So altricial species give birth to underdeveloped offspring. So terus tahulah ni sebenarnya ingat tak ingat je ni. Okay, strong independent precocial. So how to remember ni? Ada cara tak? Nanti confuse lagi altricial dengan precocial. Siapa ada formula? How to memorize this? Tak ada? Tak apa, nanti ada idea share. Alright, okay, next question. What is structure D? What is structure D? Precocial is P perempuan. Perempuan is strong independent. Betul lah, perempuan strong independent.
Dina agree, teacher.
Betul. Agree. Right, strong independent women. Okay. Alright, betul lah. Siapa boleh ingat tu, ingatlah. P for perempuan. Perempuan is strong independent, insyaAllah. Thank you, Arif. Right, hopefully cikgu pun boleh ingat. Cikgu pun tak ingat sebenarnya. Cikgu tak hafal pun, altricial and precocial tu. Alright, so again D, we go back to this question, what is structure D? So how do you identify D ni? So if you ada answers given, spermatogonia, spermatocyte, spermatid, spermatozoa. Alright, so I think you all confused between spermatogonia and spermatocyte je kan? Betul tak? Spermatid and spermatozoa tu sepatutnya kan jauh. So I think tak ada problem lah kot. Cuma so how do you distinguish spermatogonia and spermatocyte?
Look at the order.
Sepatutnya tengok size lah. Because spermatocyte is after growth, right? Betul tak?
Betul.
So look at the size between size C and D tu ada beza tak in terms of the size? Beza kan? So D tu besar. So besar because of growth. Alright. So growth therefore D because spermatocyte, right, mesti dia besar sebab dia adalah the result of growth of the spermatogonia. Alright, so therefore D is primary spermatocyte. Okay. Alright, next. Which is not a function of the placenta. Not a function of the placenta. Versus estrogen and progesterone, function, this is the function. Exchanges nutrient and waste, pun the function. Versus HCG, early stage, kita akan claim ada lah ya. Alright, early stage because the embryo to still secrete the HCG hormone tu. And then combines fetal and maternal blood. This is a very wrong statement. Alright, sebab maternals and fetal blood tak pernah combine. Right, they cannot mix. Alright, okay. Then next question. Which is not a function of testosterone. Not a function of testosterone. Stimulate secondary spermatocytes to divide into spermatids. This is the function, right, of testosterone. And then stimulates interstitial cells. So this is actually stimulate is LH. Okay. So probably jawapan ini lah. Sebab dia tak baca lagi. Stimulate Sertoli cells. No. Alright. This is not the function. Which is not a function. Not a function. Oh, stimulate Sertoli cells. This one pun cikgu, I don't have the knowledge in this. Stimulate Sertoli cells. Meaning that testosterone stimulate Sertoli cells, right? Betul tak? Soalan dia, which is not a function of testosterone. So in testosterone has the function in stimulating Sertoli cells. And then stimulate development of secondary sexual characteristic, yes. So kalau cikgu pun, cikgu akan pilih yang tu stimulate interstitial cells tu is in my knowledge. But stimulate Sertoli cell ni, because I do not know that, then I will opt for stimulate interstitial cells lah. Because stimulate interstitial cells is Leydig cell. LH hormone. Alright. Activate a series of kinase. Oh, this one. This one is additional ni. Alright. Thank you Fakhrul for sharing. Because this one kita tak cover dalam syllabus kita. Okay. Pun additional. So kalau in our syllabus up to like stimulate interstitial cell is not the function of testosterone. Right, so hopefully in IB question dia tak keluar lah ni Sertoli stimulate Sertoli cells ni. However, right, since Fakhrul dah share tadi and then kita dah buat this question, so kita tahulah. Alright, so testosterone also has the function in stimulating Sertoli cells. Okay. Alright, ada lagi soalan?
Dah habis dah.
Dah habis dah. Alright, so I think that's all. Thank you, Diana. So markah cikgu share, cikgu dah snap gambar tadi. You don't mind, right, sharing your score with your friends? Tak kisah
No,
kan?
teacher.
Congratulations. I think there are a few, quite a number also yang dapat 7. Siapa dapat 7 ni? Alia. Congratulations Alia. And then next is Myra, also 7. Congratulations. Who else? Arif, also congratulations. Letitia and Hazima, right, scored the highest this time with 91%. Right, congratulations. Right, quotation lah. Untuk Hazima and Latisha. 91%, and then next is ada lagi tak? Tak ada dah. Cikgu share lah. Ni considered as error free lah ni ya. Because cikgu malas lah nak ambil gambar, nak send kan you all, tak sempat lah. Alright, nanti cikgu serahkan masa you all datang sini balik. Alright, hopefully it is error free. Wait . Okay. So cikgu hantar your class. Alright. So the rest tu don't give up. Right, cikgu tengok your performance, your class performance ni overall okay. But you need, right? And then your attitude pun, attitude wise, cikgu I'm very happy with your class. Alright, nampak kesungguhan semua. Okay, so teruskan usaha, do not give up. Alright, so insyaAllah hopefully this final SEM 3, more of you will be able to get 7, right? And a minimum of 6 mudah-mudahan ya. Right, so all of you can do it insyaAllah. Okay, and then your planning, nak buat apa ni?
Teacher, we have a few suggestion. Macam mana tadi? Saya boleh apa yang orang tulis tadi? Ni, ada few suggestion. So there were some suggested untuk kita ada recap of certain topic. Sama ada apa? And I think kalau recap ni boleh buat macam a simplified presentation kot, macam notes yang dah summarizekan the topic, certain parts of topic as a whole. Lepas tu macam present balik untuk recap. Ada yang also cadang for this week je. Mostly for classes buat self study or something, so that waktu bio period boleh consult IA. And ada yang komen kita tengok past papers.
Alright, konsep IA tu kalau cikgu dah siap baca boleh lah konsep IA. Okay. Right, so kalau cikgu tak siap baca tak boleh konsep IA, tak boleh konsep IA juga. So I have to be alternate line because I have the SL class at the same time. Right, so alternating. So I hope that cikgu target hopefully esok at least ada seorang lah. Okay, boleh konsep IA. So meaning that cikgu rasa the best time to consult IA adalah next week, not this week. So how?
Anyone got suggestion
Cikgu
between
rasa
our
you all buat
assumptions?
past papers dulu boleh tak?
Boleh teacher?
Alright, so meaning that this week trying to answer, right, IB past years. Alright, and then next week kita focus on IA, and then the following week tu is for you to recap. Maksudnya kita buat semualah. Tapi IA tu is continuous lah kan? Boleh kah?
Teacher?
So nak
Boleh,
buat past papers tu macam mana? Test 3 tak ada ya Hazima, kita tak buat test 3 pun. Alright, no test 3. Kita terus saja semester exam. Sem 3 exam. Alright.
Alright teacher. Teacher, so past papers tu nanti we should do kami buat on our own ke, present ke, buat full paper ke, topical ke, macam mana teacher?
So what do you think is the most effective way for you to learn?
Topical.
Yeah, topical. Alright, and then topical. So, sepatutnya kumpulkanlah. Right, all the past questions based on topics, and then buatlah topic by topic. So bila nak buat tu, nak buat macam mana? Are you going to do it in groups or nak do it on your own?
Teacher, saya ada saya punya idea, saya baru je terfikir tadi pasal ni, like maybe each person suggest macam bagi one question yang dia rasa susah. Lepas tu like ada pool of questions yang susah. Lepas tu macam boleh sama-sama, mungkin boleh sama-sama bincang lah. But or maybe like a few people. Macam mungkin dalam groups juga boleh. Macam SEM 1, SEM 2.
Nah, macam mana? Sehari buat macam mana? Macam tu ke? So students come up with difficult questions. Alright, and then you answer the questions in group.
I think so, teacher. Macam before this lah, macam waktu camp SEM 1, SEM 2 kami. Usually kalau kami bincang exam paper, question set lah, macam everyone kena jawab satu soalan, put it in a slide, lepas tu nanti macam ada presentation in class on how to answer that question.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. Alright, maksudnya boleh lah. Boleh buat macam tu. Right, you can actually reduce burden of everybody else kan. Because one student come up with only probably one question, difficult question, and then you come up with how to answer the questions. Right, lepas tu present it. Macam tu.
Dulu kami buat macam tu lah, teacher.
Boleh. And then the rest, what do you think?
Okay, teacher.
Okay.
Agree. We need that during bio class. Right, during bio class, you will find the question and then try to answer the question. After that, you share it with your friends. Betul?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So next slot kita buat yang tu lah. Alright. So kalau cikgu dah berjaya finish mana-mana IA nanti cikgu maksudnya student tu will be excuse lah ya. Boleh kan macam tu?
Boleh kot, teacher, saya rasa sebab I think kalau kami masukkan dalam slides, should be nanti everyone can access it again.
Yeah, true. Betul. Right. So it'll be like your compilation of past year questions. Okay so nantilah. So maksudnya nanti division, tapi every topics, right? Maksudnya all students kena come up with their own question, right, for the topics. Tapi tak apalah, you all discuss lah macam mana ya. Alright, so nanti panggil cikgu je lah. Join your Zoom. Ada Zoom kan?
Boleh, teacher. Ada, teacher.
Okay, so
Teacher. Ada, teacher.
sekarang tak ada Zoom pula. So panggil cikgu lah, bila nak buat Zoom tu. Okay ya. So I think that's all lah for today. Alright, so thank you so much for everyone. Okay, and congratulations juga to those who scored right this time. But don't worry, in the response, all of you have the potential. Alright, semuanya ada potential 7. Alright, and a minimum of 6 insyaAllah. Right, nothing is impossible. Okay, alright, okay, see you again insyaAllah next session, next class ya. Okay, bye. Assalamualaikum. Let's start our session with doa. Okay, bye. Assalamualaikum.